Now at 10 and streaming on crossroads.com, Seadrift officials will vote on budget changes affecting police staffing and pay.
Rising food costs hit a vital community service, how Meals on Wheels is fighting to survive.
Plus, the Trump administration wants extra funds for security, how it could impact the government's funding.
We had a couple of afternoon showers today. Maybe you were the lucky one that got the rain. We are going to see that again tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be talking about your 7-day forecast in just a moment.
And the Bloomington Bobcats look to keep their undefeated season going versus the Van Fleck Leopards. It's going to be their full preview later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker.
The city of Seadrift is making changes to its Department of Safety, a move that's leaving residents in an uproar.
25 News Now reporter Trent Whiting joins us now to explain these changes and the response from city residents. Trenton?
Don, Shauna, thank you. At tomorrow's City Council meeting, Seadrift will try to set its official budget for the 2025-26 fiscal year. The proposed budget has significant cuts to the police department. The council is proposing the removal of the patrol deputy position, the only full-time patrol position in the city. That removes $52,000 in salary from the ledger. The city is also saving money on the police secretary position. That title is going away, replacing it with a department clerk that's set to get paid over $13,000 less than the secretary occupation. The city is also cutting the budget for comp time payout in half, from $6,000 to $3,000. Salary for the police chief will stay the same, and the lieutenant position will transition to an hourly position with a $2,800 increase. Residents have been vocal on social media, expressing their concern over the proposal to remove the patrol deputy position. They'll have a chance to share those concerns with the city during the public comments portion of tomorrow's budget workshop. Don, Shauna, back to you.
A 15-year-old Victoria student is charged with making a false threat on his school bus. Victoria County Sheriff's deputies say they were notified about a possible threat made around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Deputies say the 15-year-old male student claimed he was going to use a firearm. A search was done, but no weapon was found. Officials say the student later told deputies the statement was made as a joke. He was arrested for false report to induce emergency response and taken to the juvenile detention center. Also, 2 Howell Middle School students are in trouble after making up reports about a weapon on campus. This morning, school resource officers got word that a 12-year-old student claimed another student had a weapon. Then this afternoon, SROs received a report of a 13-year-old claiming there was a bomb on campus. In both cases, investigators searched and found no weapon or device. Officials say the 12-year-old knowingly gave false information. Both boys were arrested for false report to induce emergency response and both taken to the juvenile detention center. Officials say students who report concerns in good faith will not face discipline. Well, switching over to our weather, we're kind of in a pattern here. You might see some rain, you might not see some rain, but if you're going to get outside at any time, it would be first thing in the morning.
Well, I'll tell you, we saw some big dark clouds coming our way this afternoon. Mac, did anybody get any rain from that? Because we sure didn't.
Well, it was really funny because the city didn't get it. It all sort of went around the city of Victoria, but I know that folks in northern Victoria County got it, and some folks out there toward Cuero did get the big thunderstorms. We didn't get anything officially at the airport. Out in the Atlantic, we have this system that will likely become Gabrielle in about 2 or 3 days. This will be out in the Atlantic. Hopefully it'll stay out there. We'll take a look at what else is going on in the tropics coming up in just a few minutes. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. With demand rising along with rising food costs, Meals on Wheels of South Texas is making sure people in our community don't go hungry. Founded in 1979 as the Victoria Senior Citizens Association, the group originally served just the city of Victoria. Over the years, it expanded to rural Victoria County, central DeWitt, and even parts of Goliad County. Today, Meals on Wheels South Texas delivers around 6,000 meals a month and also offers dining sites in Victoria and Yorktown for those able to come in person.
This year, the county has increased their funding a little bit because federal funding is drying up, staying flat in a atmosphere, as all of you know, if you've gone to the grocery store and go grocery shopping, food costs have risen. We're facing those same costs as a program trying to feed others.
When Meals on Wheels makes a delivery, a senior gets the nutrition they need to stay healthy and the kindness of a friendly volunteer. Sometimes that visit is the only social interaction they'll have all day. Here's your viewer poll tonight. Do you think nonprofits like Meals on Wheels can keep up with growing demand for services? Overwhelmingly, 73% of our voters say yes, they can with more funding. 24% saying no, the demand is too high. We hear from the viewers. Paula from Victoria says, quote, I hope it can continue. So many people need it. My husband volunteers every week. Sometimes it's the only communication they receive, unquote. Cynthia from Victoria says, unfortunately, besides the growing need, there are not enough volunteers. Port O'Connor, for example. We thank you. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and thanks for voting.
The bridge on Cologne Road is getting a full replacement as part of a TxDOT project to upgrade 3 bridges across Victoria County. The whole project comes with a price tag of just under $2 million, with STX Civil handling the work. This bridge here on Cologne Road was supposed to close on September 8th, but crews shut it down a little early after spotting a safety concern. The Cologne Road replacement alone is costing about $632,000. If everything stays on track, drivers should be back on the road by March of 2026. Investigators are trying to piece together a motive behind the deadly shooting of political activist Charlie Kirk last week.
Now investigators say they have recovered several items with DNA. This as the Utah County prosecutor prepares to file official charges. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more from Orem, Utah.
Tonight, House Speaker Mike Johnson leading a vigil on Capitol Hill in memory of conservative activist and commentator Charlie Kirk, who was killed on Utah Valley University's campus last week.
This has been a very difficult week in America. There's a wide range of emotions that have been felt by the American people and, frankly, by leaders in the nation's capital.
President Trump says he'll attend Kirk's celebration of life ceremony in Arizona Sunday.
I'm going on Sunday. We're taking a whole plane load and I was invited on Saturday, but I said I'd rather save it for Sunday.
This as the Utah County attorney sorts through a mountain of evidence and preparing to file charges tomorrow against 22-year-old suspect Tyler Robinson in connection with the killing. Sources telling ABC News the suspect was tracking Kirk's public appearances and events on the internet and looked up campus maps in an effort to gain familiarity. Investigators are poring over any electronic devices the suspect may have used and trying to retrace his steps.
We are very interested in how much time he spent on campus, how he got there, when he got there. We have the vehicle we believe he drove and that we can confirm was on campus that day. We have that in our possession and we're serving search warrants on that vehicle.
Earlier today, FBI Director Kash Patel saying on Fox News that investigators recovered 2 pieces of evidence that had the suspect's DNA on it. A screwdriver on the roof where they believe the shot was fired from, and on the towel wrapped around the rifle found in the woods. Back at Utah Valley University's campus, students are gearing up to return Wednesday. Some say they are dreading it.
This hasn't happened in Orem, Utah. And so returning to campus, it's sort of a feeling that someone had passed away here. It's a very sad and very somber feeling.
If the Utah County attorney does file charges tomorrow, which is expected, the suspect will make his first court appearance virtually. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Orem, Utah.
The Trump administration wants Congress to spend more money to keep executive and judicial branch members safe after the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The White House asked for $58 million in extra security, and a congressional aide says the request is being processed. It comes as a deadline looms to fund the government. Without a budget agreement, the federal government could shut down at month's end.
President Trump says the U.S. military has carried out another deadly strike, this time on a Venezuelan boat accused of smuggling drugs to the U.S. In a video posted to his Truth Social account, Trump said the strike happened in international waters and left 3 men he called narco-terrorists dead. He added that no U.S. forces were hurt. It is the second strike like this in recent weeks. About 2 weeks ago, a similar attack in the Southern Caribbean killed 11 people. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, high-stakes talks between the U.S. and China are underway. How they could determine the future of TikTok.
Also ahead, the CDC's vaccine panel has 5 new members where they stand on vaccine recommendations.
More renters are turning their monthly payments into a way to boost their credit scores. A new survey from TransUnion shows more people are choosing to report their rent payments to credit bureaus. Services now let renters track their payment history and send it to Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion. Experts say it's especially helpful for people who don't have much credit history. It gives them a way to start building a record. Well, the White House says it has reached a framework deal with China to save the future of TikTok in the U.S. It comes just 2 days before the latest ban deadline.
President Trump has extended the deadline 3 times so far since returning to office. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the details from Washington.
TikTok's on the table today at high-level talks between the U.S. and China in Spain, 2 days before the wildly popular social media app faces its Congress-approved ban in the U.S., barring another extension or a finalized deal.
We were very focused on TikTok and making sure that it was a deal that is fair for the Chinese and completely respects U.S. national security concerns, and that's the deal we reached.
President Trump today seemed to announce a TikTok deal, posting online that a deal was also reached on a certain company that young people in our country very much wanted to save. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent categorizes the U.S.-China agreement as a framework deal, saying Presidents Trump and Xi are expected to speak sometime this week and formally announce the new terms.
We're not going to talk about the commercial terms of the deal. It's between 2 private parties, but the commercial terms have been agreed upon.
Congress passed the TikTok ban under the Biden administration spring 2024, saying it would go into effect unless TikTok's Chinese-based parent company ByteDance sells its controlling stake to an American company, citing national security concerns. Trump, who once supported the ban, has so far extended the deadline to impose it 3 times. The talks with China are part of broader trade negotiations between the world's 2 largest economies. The U.S. had threatened to go forward with the ban if China didn't make certain concessions around tariffs and other economic policies. It's unclear for now exactly where all of that landed. Treasury Secretary Bessent expects more trade talks between the U.S. and China will happen in about a month. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
While the state's strict ban on gambling has not changed, fast-growing daily fantasy sports and prediction market apps are giving Texans new ways to wager without leaving home. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com.
5 new members are joining the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee just in time for a big meeting this week. Back in June, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. removed all 17 members, saying they had conflicts of interest. He appointed 8 new ones. One later stepped down over financial concerns. Some of the current members have also raised eyebrows for prompting unproven claims about vaccines. The committee meets Thursday and Friday to review research and give recommendations to the CDC. What looks like acne or razor bumps could actually be a chronic skin condition.
With more, here's ABC News' Melissa Adon.
Acne keloidalis nuchae, or AKN, is a chronic skin condition that affects the hair follicles on the back of the neck, causing inflammation. It most commonly affects men of African descent between the ages of 1 and 55. Early signs include small, firm bumps on the back of the neck or scalp that may be painful, itchy, or filled with pus. Without treatment, AKN can lead to scarring and permanent hair loss. To help prevent it, avoid shaving the back of your neck with a razor when possible. Minimize hairstyles that cause irritation or pull on the hair, and avoid tight-fitting hats. Your doctor may recommend antibacterial shampoos or cleansers, such as benzoyl peroxide, topical creams, steroid injections, oral antibiotics, and even laser therapy. If you notice any of these symptoms, see a dermatologist early to prevent long-term damage. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're looking at 74 degrees right about now. The winds are absolutely calm. We had a high of 91 this afternoon, and yes, we did have some thunder showers, some nasty looking clouds there for a minute, but we got no rain out officially at the airport. But we'll try and take a look and see who got that stuff. And we'll be taking a look at your 7-day forecast. All that coming up in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Before we go on, I want to show you this video that Ethylene Key sent me in from Seadrift. Apparently there's a lot of people in town that have hummingbird feeders out there, and that's great. And if you got video, you can see how quick they are. They're absolutely gorgeous feathered birds, and they're all passing through here on their migration down to Central America, where they're going for the winter. Isn't that nice? They just know when the winter's coming and they're gone. So they're passing through much of the crossroads right about now. There's the shower activity. Let's start again. We start early this morning. There's the city. You can see the big storms north of us and to the east of us. But in the city, we didn't have that much in terms of actual rainfall, but the clouds looked pretty significant looking. At this hour, everything has collapsed, but let's take a closer look right here. That's 77 right there. So to the east of that was a good 1 to 2 inches, and somewhere between Cuero and Victoria, we got a good 1 to 2 inches, which is, of course, in the watershed of the river there. So that's good stuff. So, you know, this is kind of going to be our pattern for the next couple of days. And you can see how scattered showers went all the way down into the Corpus Christi area, down to Nueces County as well. This will be good because we're sort of stuck in a slow moving pattern right now. So every day we'll have just 1 or 2 little rounds of showers popping up. You can see how the moisture just shows up along the immediate coastline. And so, you know, it's not like Austin's getting any rain or anything. We're getting it, and that's what's good. That will hopefully help us out since we didn't get a tropical storm. Well, I shouldn't say that too loud. It doesn't appear like we're going to get a tropical system this year. So with our fingers crossed, we'll hope for any little rain shower we can get right about there. Showing you the big picture, we've got a low out here and a low out there. And so in the middle, that creates a big high right about there. That's why we're sort of stuck. These frontal systems are looking good. This one is going to be getting into way north Texas. But for us, it's a pretty slim chance it'll actually make it. I wanted to show you this out here. We're going to show you this a little bit closer, but that's a tropical storm, and yet this is not a tropical storm, neither is this, but all of this is huge complexes of thunderstorms popping up. And of course, as you already saw earlier this year, sometimes that stuff drifts over into our region. The Gulf is quiet. We look at the Atlantic, where we do have the potential. This is Gabrielle. We talked about this one a week ago, but because it was so close to the Saharan dust, it couldn't get organized. Now it does look like it's got about a 90% chance of becoming a tropical storm. And if it stays on this route, should be good and avoid the Lesser Antilles. But this will likely become either a tropical storm or a hurricane in about 5 days. This is what I was telling you about. This is the remnants of Mario. The storm is weakening, but this moisture is then drifting this way. In fact, I have models that will show you that as the storm falls apart here, it's going to bring heavy rains to the desert Southwest. I'm talking Tucson, Phoenix, places like that, which, you know, of course, they have the monsoon season, but a little tropical storm encouraged stuff. So for us, we continue with the low grade of afternoon showers like that. Not everybody will see them, but some of you will. And that increases a little bit as we get to the coming weekend. Temperatures from the mid-90s slowly creeping down to about 92, 90 by the end of the week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone, and it is football season, and here's the guy that knows all about it. Max, over to you.
That's right, Mac. After the break, we're going to reveal our game of the week here for week 4. I'll tell you what that is coming up in sports. Crossroads were almost finished with the non-district portion of the season. Going into week 4, the Ganado Indians having their home opener this Friday versus a very talented Tidehaven Tigers team. And these teams are very familiar with each other, as Ganado is currently ranked number 2 in Dave Campbell's Texas high school football rankings, while Tidehaven moved up to number 1 ranking in 3A Division II. So from Dave Campbell's as well, and the Tigers have defeated their Palacios, Goliad, and Hallettsville already here the first couple of 3 weeks, while Ganado has beaten Van Fleck, Bowling, and East Bernard. Both quarterbacks have been outstanding to watch this season so far. How about Tidehaven's Kale Russell already has 14 touchdown passes already this season, while Ganado's Landon Arriaga is up there as well. But for me, even though you got star explosive offenses, these teams played each other in the state 7-on-7 tournament back in late June. The defenses have to make a stop. One of these teams has to get the defense to make a play at the end of the game in order to win this game. I think it's going to be very high scoring between both sides, and we'll see who will get the victory. Which takes us here to tonight's Sports Viewer poll, where I asked everyone, who do you think will win our game here in week 4 for our game of the week? And a lot of you are choosing Tidehaven right now. 58% of you chose Tidehaven, 42% of you chose Ganado. So we'll see if that kind of leads into this Friday. I think it's going to be a very close battle between both teams. Now, from our game of the week to another team, which I'm going to watch out for this season, is in the Bloomington Bobcats. They're currently already 3-0 this season. They've had wins over Woodsboro, Luis, and then they had a road victory last week versus the Ben Bowl Badgers. And the Bobcats have had some big production as of late from Aiden and Amari Gardner, and Don Reyes has been huge as well there for this team on the rush game. And also, they got to keep in mind, they've got 82.77 yards per game is what Aiden Gardner has averaged already this season. We had a chance to catch up with some of the star players here from Bloomington and their head coach Lane Shands about how this team has been special so far and what's going to keep their streak going there for the Bobcats.
Every game we've played a couple quarterbacks and had a lot of things to go through, and the kids have adapted and done really well, and we've been able to win some games. And our goal is to each week, like every other team in the state of Texas, just get better. It'd be nice if we could get a little more consistency with who we have.
It feels good, but at the same time, it's like I've been doing this all summer with my team, so like I can come out here and show it on the field what I've been doing throughout the whole.
Like if something goes bad, we don't bring each other down, we bring them up, and we're in the huddle talking about everything that goes on. And we just really communicate with each other the whole time.
Love that mindset there from this team. They're currently still undefeated right now. They face, again, the Van Fleck Leopards this Friday night. Again, it'll be on the road. It'll be their second road game for the season for the Bloomington Bobcats. And over some Monday night volleyball action, should we say, the St. Joseph Lady Flyers, they hosted district opponent San Antonio Christian Lions tonight there at the Flyer Dome. This game was tight all the way through. This was tied at 1-1 apiece, but then this would go to a 5-setter as Jordan Johnson had 20-plus kills there tonight, and Zoe Henning had over 30 more assists there tonight. So very efficient there for both of those players, and the Flyers, they're not going to be back in action to play another district opponent in Providence Catholic on the road this Saturday, and it'll be at 1 p.m. And finally, we saw this game earlier today here right on KAVU TV with the Houston Texans. They faced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers would hang on to get the victory 20-19. And Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud went 13-24 for 207 yards in the loss. And again, Nick Chubb also had 1 touchdown on the ground. But Texans, they're going to hope to get out of that 0-2 hole as they face the Jags on the road in Week 3. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, Shauna, back to you.
Max, thank you, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, one New York apartment is making waves like no other. Coming up, see how creativity sails to new heights.
Tonight, we go uncomfortably deep inside the Emmys.
This is specialty.
Is this yours?
It's called tequila.
Tequila. Pinkies up. All right. Cheers.
York City apartment has gone full Titanic. Sarah Bowl spent 6 months turning her place into a life-size tribute to the ship, complete with a dining room that looks like it's straight off the liner, a shipwreck-themed bedroom, even a bathroom designed to look like the ocean floor. Her dog Vito has been along for the ride, and millions have been watching the makeover on TikTok. Sarah says she never expected it to blow up this big, but with so much support, she's already working on her next theme, The Wizard of Oz.
Titanic blow up. Anyway, thousands turned out at Washington Dulles International Airport this weekend, not to catch a flight, but to pull planes for a good cause. A record 86 teams took part in the 2025 Dulles Plane Pull, together raising $600,000 for Special Olympics Virginia. Competitors tried their strength against a FedEx cargo plane or United 737. Families also got to explore military planes, helicopters, and even climb aboard an airport fire truck. The annual fundraiser rolls back every September and for a cause where everyone is a winner, the Special Olympics.
That is really cool.
That is really cool.
That is super. Our weather is kind of between cool and super. It's not cool.
We can't, we're not going to feel fall just yet until, as you know, September 22nd is the official beginning of fall. That's the first day that we average below 90 degrees.
Wow.
Isn't that exciting, guys? We're going to be 89.
We can't wait. We really can't wait.
Let us know.
In 2 weeks. But
Hopefully
in the
Mother
meantime,
Nature got that memo.
It stays in the mid-90s right there with the only thing that'll help is a few little afternoon clouds and a few isolated showers. So if you catch one, you'll more likely be closer to the weekend when they increase a little bit. But tomorrow it's catch as catch can. I mean, we didn't get much in the city today, but I know Cuero got a lot.
It's nice though, stepping outside in the morning, you know, the hope is there.
Yes.
You start, you feel the change.
There's,
You're kind of like, okay.
there's some hope.
Yes. All right, well, 3 nuns in their 80s pull off quite the escape, leaving their nursing home in Austria and heading back to their old convent. Sisters Bernadette, Regina, and Rita say they were forced out years ago. The church argues the convent isn't safe with no electricity and no running water. But supporters are stepping in with generators, supplies, and lots of love, including cheers from the sisters' 10,000 Instagram followers.
Oh my gosh.
Their long-term future is still uncertain, but one thing is clear. They are not going back to the nursing home.
Oh, well.
So everyone's helping them out, making sure they can stay in the convent there.
Goodbye, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen. Oh, the other Sound of Music stuff in there. Yeah, throw that in there.
According to that many viewers, they're rock stars on TikTok.
Yeah. A lot of viewers, though. Well, thanks for joining us.
All right, Jimmy Kimmel Live starts now.